waive the calling of the roll, take note of the members who come in as they come in, please. Is this mic working? Can you hear that? Okay, great. Thank you very much, members, and I see we have some people in the audience to be heard today. Great. Are there any remarks from the members this morning before we get started? Okay. I just want to finish up on our business yesterday. We were talking towards the last of our session yesterday about teachers and safety in schools. And I'm sorry, I apologize, I did not call on Mr. Brinegar from Professional Educators of Tennessee, who was here. Did you have some comments to make? Sorry, we did not call on you yesterday. Okay. Mr. Brinegar, please identify yourself for the record.
Good morning, Chairman Gresham, Chairman Brooks, and members of the committee. My name is Tim Brinegar, and I represent Professional Educators of Tennessee, PET. And I'd like to expand on what was said yesterday about school safety. While we can all agree that the safety of our school children is paramount, and that's most important above all, we also need to make sure that the workplace is a safe place for our teachers as well. We briefly discussed yesterday talking about special ed teachers and the unique situations they face, but I'd also like to bring it to the committee's attention that a lot of times these special ed students are put into quote-unquote regular classes with regular teachers. And sometimes these teachers are not fully trained in how to deal with the situations that arise with special ed students. I've had situations where I've received calls of a normal teacher walking down a hallway with a special ed student jumping on their back and actually causing their knee to blow out. I've had different situations where the students have disrupted the class, and that's quite a concern for our teachers across the state, that they're put in situations where sometimes they're not fully qualified or fully trained to deal with those types of situations. Additionally, outside of the special ed arena, we also have situations where teachers are put into extra duty positions such as bus duty, parking lot duty, however you want to call that, or lunchroom duty, where violence tends to arise in those situations. I've received calls that would stand the hair up on your neck where a teacher's been physically assaulted or verbally assaulted in the parking lot just while trying to maintain discipline as the students leave at the end of the day. And it's just a little bit disturbing in how the discipline and the security is lacking in a lot of our schools, especially in some of the urban environments, but it happens in the rural areas as well. And I just would like to bring that to the committee's attention and hope that in the future that we can all work together to try and look at these situations, because like I said, the security and safety of the students is paramount, but we also want to have a safe and secure workplace for the teachers that are there as well.
Thank you, sir, for your comments.
Thank you, ma'am.
Are there any questions or comments from the members? Senator Haynes?
Do you think it's worse now than it used to be, and if so, why?
I think it's a societal problem. I don't necessarily attribute it just to the schools in general, but I think probably in the last 20 to 30 years, there's been for whatever reason, a reduction in the amount of respect that's given to teachers and in the profession. That a lot of times the students aren't told at home, you need to respect your teacher, you need to listen to what they tell you to do and do it. And if that's not backed up and supported in the home, it tends to really boil over in the school place where the students don't show the teachers respect that they're due.
Well, special ed students have peculiar problems anyway, and that we're having to deal with as educators. And I just wonder, is that where this occurs mostly, is in the special education curriculum or classes, or does it occur in general across the board?
I think it occurs in general across the board, but with the special ed students, a lot of times they're treated with kid gloves, where if a teacher has a student transfer into their class, and let's say it's a special ed student that's being mainstreamed into a regular class, that teacher may not have all the training that a full-time special ed teacher has. So that student's questioning themselves, how do I deal with this student? And it takes time for that teacher, let's say it's a 3 or 4 year teacher that's not been on the job very long, and how best to deal with that situation. Obviously, any kind of training and additional skills that we can give these teachers in how to deal with the students is beneficial. But I believe also that a lot of times the administration is so fearful for being sued by a parent of a special ed student that sometimes they don't hold their feet to the fire when they should.
Is there any way to start a program or to encourage the parents to work with their children to increase the respect level that should be given to the teacher?
I would fully envision a program coming down from the Department of Education somewhere in the state where maybe an advertising program that promotes such activity by the parents being more involved in their students' lives, and just an opportunity to maybe put some stuff out on the radio or TV where it shows that teachers are professionals, that they're dedicated to this job. They don't make a whole lot of money, and to do what they do is really a life's work. It's not something they're out there just getting a paycheck for.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Henry.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir, I'm Douglas Henry. I didn't get your name. I apologize.
Tim Brinegar?
Brinegar?
Yes, sir.
Are you a teacher, Mr. Brinegar?
No, sir. I'm retired military.
You're what?
I'm retired from the U.S. Army.
Oh, okay. But you're representing some teachers here today.
Yes, sir, I do.
Right. This sounds like I'm trying to make a point. I'm not. I'm really looking for information. Yesterday, the spokeswoman for the school psychologist said that if you're faced with a bully, you back off. Is that y'all's thought about the matter?
When you're talking about bully, who are you speaking of?
Child to child.
I believe quite often that's a situation, but I still believe the teacher needs to be in control of their classroom.
Do what?
I still believe the teacher needs to maintain control of their classroom, and if sometimes their hands are tied because of the administration or whatever the policy is in dealing with sometimes the bully, which may tend to be a special ed student, a lot of times the teacher doesn't know which way to go.
Well, special ed students are sometimes not able to control themselves, but the teachers you represent would or would not say that the way to discourage a bully is to face him or to back off from him.
My personal opinion is that you should face them. You should deal with that situation then and there.
Well, I always thought so too, but the school psychologist said otherwise. I'm just curious. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other comments from the members, questions? Just a note, Senator Haynes, in the SCORE report that was just recently published, there is a specific area that calls for parents to do just as you suggested. And so there will be, I think, a PR campaign to parents, focused on parents. So we're looking forward to making some kind of cultural change. So, but thank you for that question. Thank you, Mr. Brinegar.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mr. Chairman, you have an announcement?
Throughout our lives, there's significant events that occur on a sort of a regular basis. And one of our members has had a recent, very